Hey guys, this is probably like my third attempt at this video. I was wondering why I couldn't do the video, and I realised I didn't have my hat on, and I needed my hat. So I got my hat, and hopefully this is the video that's based on YouTube, because, I'm not really feeling very well today, so I want to just get it done. I had an aunt on the other day, saying like, how do you cope with like people being mean to you, and if people have ever been mean to me, and like what do I do about it? I kind of thought my answer was a bit vague, so I kind of thought I'd do a video about it, because I have nothing better to do, and hopefully my little Anon friend sees it, and it may make he or she, or whoever it is, feel a bit better. From, I think, primary 3, or for American people, I keep forgetting, from when I was about 7 up until my second year of high school, I was bullied, like, continuously. Primary school was particularly bad, because I couldn't walk home without basically having my head kicked in every day. I was like choked with scarves, thrown to the ground, kicked in the face, all sorts. Obviously there was verbal as well. I can't remember the verbal things he said to me. I think it's probably, no, you're a bitch, and you have no money, and you smell really bad, and you're a skank. All the usual things that lovely kids say to each other. And it really did affect me. It affected me big time when I was a kid. But I was still happy-go-lucky in a certain sense, and I didn't let it affect me to the point where I didn't go to school. I still went. I still had friends that were there to support me, and who were still there for me even though everything was going bad. Now, I know it's not necessarily the best thing to do, but like, there's two things you could do with bullies, okay? One, ignore it. Doesn't necessarily always work, but if you show them that you're not being affected by what things that are saying or things that they're doing, 4 times out of 10 they'll basically piss off and leave you alone. Second, kind of give them a taste of real medicine. I mean, like, I tried the whole ignoring thing, it didn't work for me. I mean, my first day of primary school, the primary school I went to where the bullying started, first day, primary 3, I was walking home. I wasn't walking home, but I was away to get my bus. I think mum and dad were picking up that day, I'm not quite sure. But there was like this, like, a wall part, and then like there's a space where like you walked up and the front gates were there, and like the rest is playground. And I was just like this wall part, and like a whole bunch of primary 7s, and a lot of them were the boys, like jumped on me and like started like kicking me and stuff and like pulling my hair, and I had no idea why. I was like, whoa, what? I'd never been bullied a day in my life up until that point, so I was like, what the hell is going on? From that day onwards, onto my second year of high school, I never tried fighting back for myself. My dad always told me to. My mum always told me to. It didn't matter how many times we told teachers or anything, it generally got worse. So it wasn't until I was in second year, and there was this girl who's a right pain in my freaking arse, and she's walking up behind me with this group of people, and she's throwing hula hoops at me, and she was just like, oh, what are you going to do about it, what are you going to do about it? And I was just like, dude, seriously, I'm going to lose my temper, you need to stop. And she just kept doing it, and I lost my temper, and I turned around and I punched her in the face. Now, I'm not a violent person, like, at all. Any sort of violence or confrontation, and I generally, I get an adrenaline rush, and it makes me feel sick, and I hate it. Because I hate being mean to people. I don't like being mean to people, because I'm generally a nice person. And, like, everyone else was just like, oh, hit her back, and, like, all the girl could do was, like, follow, like, 3 feet behind me, and, like, didn't so much as, like, even touch me, but she could throw abuse. So, obviously, she was like, oh, yeah, like, if I hit her, she's gonna hit me back, and I was very pissed off at that point. And my class was English. I walked in English, I sat next to my friend, and I burst out crying. Because like I said, I hate violence. Nothing really ever happened after that. There was once, like, these 2 girls that were, like, the bullies from, like, primary school, and they were walking behind me trying to trip me up on the back of my feet. And they're just laughing and being like little twerps, and like they still are, I think, actually. And I turned around and I was like, well, come on in, if you think you're big enough and brave enough to take me on, then come on. And they're just like, oh, who do you think you're talking to? I was like, I'm talking to you, you dimbat. Like, what are you going to do about it? And they did nothing. They just swore at me and was like, yeah, that was it. After that, I had no problems. Yeah, pretty much no problems. I know it's like not necessarily to, you know, like trading violence. But if you don't stick up for yourself and show them that you're not as weak as they think you are, because bullies are weak, you know, they're very weak people. And anyone who can be mean to someone is a bully. And they've just got flaws like everybody else, and they have also got a weak point, just like everybody else. And maybe you should like kind of like prey on that a little bit. If someone's mean to me in the street, I'm the idiot that doesn't take it and just walk away. I throw abuse back at them because I just generally don't think anyone should sit there and like demonize me because they have nothing better to do. So you know, I shout back at them. There's not that too long ago where it's like these little boys were throwing abuse at my cousin, and because I told them to shut the hell up, they started with me. I was like, I know where you live, don't even go there with me. I started shouting at them, saying, and ended up saying to the bus driver they were, I think it was they were the results of inter-family breeding. I didn't realise the guy was related to the family. That kind of didn't help. I was very pissed off. If people like throw abuse in the street, I just throw abuse back. I'm just generally like that. If anyone's mean to me, you know, say to them, look, you know, that was out of order, or look, stop it, because you're really starting to make me a bit angry and upset, and you really don't want to, you know, do that. If you're planning on doing that and that's what your intentions are, then I advise you not to. Yeah, I kind of have to show people that they can't push you around, like, the best you can. I realise people are going to say to you, oh, you know, turn the other cheek and all that bullshit. Yeah, don't. I don't care what anyone says. Turning the other cheek and telling people that this is happening to you doesn't generally work. Generally it gets worse. It's even in the workplace, it's not just generally at school. I mean, if you see like, oh, your boss is bullying you and you're going to have a snitch in the office, it's going to go and tell the boss that, and then the boss is going to come down 10 times harder on you. So yeah, generally I don't stand for any of that crap. I wouldn't have anyone like sit there and demoralise me and make me feel like shit just because they think it's funny or anything else. I can hope that made sense a little bit. I realised I've ranted here for like 8 minutes. But yeah, I just wanted to get that point across. Like, no one should make you feel like, you know, inferior or anything. Like, you're you and you're special as you are, and no one can take that away from you. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. Now I'm going to have to go, because if I keep talking, my throat is going to completely close up, because I have a cold, and yeah, I'm really pretty ill right now. So I'm going to go and watch something decent on TV and curl up and die on the sofa. But yeah, take at least some of my advice. I know it's not like the best advice, but you know, no one should ever push you around, and you shouldn't let anyone push you around. So if people are being mean to you, you tell them, and you tell them to back off. Because sitting there and taking it is just not gonna help. But at the same time, remember that, you know, that nothing they say is true, and you're not everything that they're telling you are. You're better than them in every single way possible. Okay. I'll maybe do a video later on this week. This is Thursday. I'll do a video next week. Hopefully I'll feel better by then, and I'll be able to speak more clearly and not as fast. And I realise a lot of you aren't going to understand one word I just said because I'm speaking fast and because I'm Scottish. I do apologise for that, but I try to get through this video as quickly as I could. But I love you all, and have a good weekend. Bye.